The early morning mist had barely lifted from the hills when the first mourners began to arrive. They came in silence, wrapped in coats against the chill, holding flowers, song lyrics, and fading vinyl records. Within hours, the roads into the tiny Welsh village of Llangwyn were jammed with cars and buses. People walked miles to get there. By noon, the village of fewer than 800 people had swelled into the thousands. They had come to say goodbye to Owain Price, the legendary frontman of the Hollow Verse, whose sudden death had stunned the nation and left a void in the hearts of generations who grew up with his music. The sheer number of people who made the journey, some from across the UK, and even further afield, spoke volumes about what he meant to them. Owain Price wasn't just a singer. He was, in many ways, the voice of Wales. His gravelly tone, raw lyrics, and powerful presence had marked him as one of the defining musicians of the last 3 decades. Though he toured the world, played massive arenas, and met global acclaim, Owain always returned to Llangwyn. It was where he was born, where he found his first audience, and where he chose to live out his days. His death, at just 56 years old, came suddenly. A cardiac arrest while at home with his wife, Sion. The announcement was made in a brief family statement that emphasized his peaceful passing. But the grief that followed was anything but quiet. Fans flooded social media with messages, lyrics, and video clips. Candlelight vigils were held in Cardiff, Swansea, and Manchester. But it was Llangwyn where the deepest mourning took root. When the funeral date was announced, preparations began almost immediately. The village, unaccustomed to such attention, rallied to host the mourners. Residents opened their homes to strangers, serving tea and offering directions. Local businesses provided food, water, and shelter. For one day, the grief was communal. People from every walk of life, students, pensioners, artists, and construction workers, stood side by side, bound by their love for Owain. The chapel in which the funeral was held was small and simple. It could hold perhaps 100 people. The service was private, attended by close friends, family, and his former bandmates. But outside, loudspeakers carried the eulogies to the masses gathered in the surrounding fields. It was as if the entire landscape was listening. Speakers remembered a man who never forgot his roots, who gave back quietly, without fanfare, who supported mental health organizations, mentored struggling young artists, and returned home every December to perform a free acoustic show in the village hall. His wife Sion spoke briefly but movingly, describing a man who loved fiercely, laughed loudly, and wrote songs as though his life depended on them. She shared memories of their life together, moments no stage had seen, and thanked everyone for loving him just as he was. One of the most poignant moments came when Owain's former bandmates played a stripped-down version of Ashes and Rain, their breakout song. The crowd outside sang along, many in tears. It was a shared moment of collective grief and remembrance, a fitting farewell to a voice that had carried so many through their own heartbreaks and healing. In the days that followed, tributes continued to pour in. Radio stations dedicated entire programs to his legacy. Writers published long retrospectives about the way his music captured the spirit of a generation. Younger artists credited him with shaping their sound and their path. But for the people of Llangwyn, his absence was personal. The man who used to walk his dog along the hillside paths, who'd wave at neighbors from his old truck, was gone. The village lost not only a musical icon but a son, a friend, and a neighbor. And yet, amid the sorrow, there was pride. Pride that someone from their midst had touched the world. That a village often overlooked on maps had given rise to a voice remembered in countless hearts. The final resting place of Owain Price is a quiet hilltop cemetery just beyond the village. His headstone, modest and hand-carved, bears a line from one of his lesser-known songs. "When I go, don't cry for me. Just play the songs that set you free." Visitors continue to arrive, leaving flowers, guitar picks, handwritten notes, and scarves from old tours. The hillside has become a living memorial, not just to a man, but to the moments he gave people through music. In the end, Owain's funeral was not just an event. It was a movement, a reminder of the power one person has to connect strangers, to give voice to emotion, and to create something that outlives even the loudest applause. His passing has left behind a silence, yes, but also a song that continues in the hearts of all who loved him. And in a world often too noisy to hear what really matters, perhaps that is the most enduring tribute of all. For the people who made the journey, and for those who will listen years from now, Owain Price remains more than a musician. He is a part of their story, a melody that memory won't let fade.